Okay. Wow, y'all. We are so sorry that we are running so late. But Angela had a very interesting client, and so things just took their course as they do.
It was my fault entirely. I lost track of time, and then she was, bless her heart, was out there waiting on me and texting me, and the text didn't come through.
But here's the funny thing about that. The theme of the week for me has been dogs have taken. This is going to be one of those days. The theme of the week has been thwarting or being thwarted. Like today, we were thwarted. Do you need to go check on the dogs?
I have to go check on dogs. Talk to the people.
Anyway, the theme of this week so far has been being thwarted. Everything that I've tried to do, and I think it's been kind of the same with Angela, there's been some kind of delay or it's been difficult. Like today, like she just said, she had a really interesting client, and I was outside waiting, and I didn't want to interrupt because I thought, this is something really cool going on. It's okay. I'll just stay out here. But earlier this week, actually just yesterday, I had an acupuncture appointment, and I am totally capable of keeping appointments. I do it all the time, except for acupuncture, which is the most helpful thing that I do. And there's always some kind of mix-up with my acupuncture appointment.
Okay.
So that happened earlier this week. And then I'm interested that today we got thwarted from doing this.
It always goes in cycles. Everything goes in cycles. And today, we're going to teach some stuff. I got a feeling.
Okay.
Are we going to continue doing this much longer, Honey Paw, or are we going to stop? Because I don't know what's going on, or the show that we're doing. Are we going to be taking a break in the near future? Or are we going to keep doing it?
I think maybe over the holidays we will.
Okay, because you had mentioned something about doing it for October.
Yeah.
And then maybe stop it until January.
Well, I think for the holidays we'll decide, but we know we're going to do a big Halloween blowout.
Because we're in the middle of October is the reason I brought it up.
Yeah. No, I mean we're on a good run.
Okay, you just tell me what we're going to do so I can tell other people what we're going to do.
Okay. So do you know what kind of things you're going to teach today?
No. Well, yes.
All right.
Good. First of all, balance. You're talking about stuff that keeps coming up for you. Balance is what's coming up for me. It's all I can do. Not to race into the bathroom and put on some lipstick right now.
You're fine without the lipstick.
I'm better probably without the lipstick, but it doesn't matter. I have come to love my lipstick, and I feel like I am weird without it. I'm weird with it. What's it matter? I'm trying not to look at myself. Oh my God, it drives me crazy. Where do I look? There.
Okay. Balancing.
Balance. What I need done to me. There's more than one way to do it. Now, what I'd like for you to do is go lay on that table back there so I can demonstrate. But as it is a very small table, and it actually just tickles me to no end, I will try to explain.
Okay.
What I want you to do to your partner when you're going to balance them, because you need another person.
Okay. When should you balance? How often? How do you know?
When the mood hits you.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. When you're dealing with this kind of stuff, here's your another lesson. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Things happen the way they're supposed to. You'll be guided. If you start worrying about what you need to do, you're in your own way. Okay? So just trust your process. And what happens is when you get out of balance, you'll be discombobulated like I obviously am right now, because I don't like it when I lose my time like that. I mean, I sat in there 2 hours with that fella, and I would have told you it was 20 minutes. Back to the time thing again. And that's not the usual, because I'm really good on timing, and that is not the usual at all. But anyway, what you want to do, have your person lay down. And again, don't make this hard. I don't know why they're barking. Okay? I don't know. There's nothing out there. Have them lay down on their back. And then I want you to try to just imagine that you're clearing off their energy. Again, don't make this hard. Every human being that's healthy, normal human being can sweep a floor kind of thing. Okay, so every healthy, normal human being can take their hands over a few inches above and sweep a person's energy. Don't make this hard. This is natural. This is natural. You can brush your freaking hair. You can brush some energy. Okay, you do that till you feel done with it. And then you go and you take your hand and put right here on their head and put a light touch. Don't matter, light or hard, don't matter. Then go to the side that's closest to you, like their shoulder, wherever you feel like it. Don't make Do not make this hard. This is not rocket science. You do not need nothing but your good intention. You're not going to hurt nobody. Just do it or don't do it, okay? Then go on down and put your hand maybe in other places along their body where you feel drawn. Put your hand and press at the place close to you, and the part that's close to you, press easy. Then go opposite, press harder.
On the other side of their body.
On the other side of their body. Then go on down, press here. I was going to bring Chatty Cathy in here and demonstrate, but I didn't get to do that. Press here. And don't worry. Oh, is that a chakra opening or is this a special point? Don't worry about it. Just go where you want to go. Go down their arm. Hold your arm up. Go down their arm hard or light rather. And then over here, go hard or hard and light. Again, don't make it hard. Just do the opposite. If you're doing hard here, do light there. If you're doing light there, hard, like that. It's easier, I guess, to do hard if it's close to you, right? And then you do light, hard.
Does it matter what order?
No, it don't matter.
Okay.
No, but keep hard on this side that's close to you because that's, like I said, kind of common sense. It's easy to do hard, and light on the opposite. And then you work down that person's body.
Okay.
When you get to their foot, on the sole of their foot, do light as you normally do, and then do a hard again. Then flip them. And then start at the foot and do a light and then a hard on their foot. And then go back up the same way with the hard next to you because you'll be doing the opposite on their body. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Flip them, go way up, and then finish with the head. Do light and then do hard. And then, and this is the main thing, do that. Because when you touch people, you're actually collecting their energy. Their tentacles are just basically hanging all over you. So do that. Done. It's gone.
Can you do that for yourself or to yourself?
Yeah, but this is a thing that I think is balance you think about too. So it's one of those things, and you don't have to be romantically involved with somebody. You don't do it in the nude or nothing like that. You can do it with whoever. But if you don't have nobody, it ain't gonna hurt nothing to do what you feel helps balance your energy too. That's something I felt like I was guided to say to y'all today, and hopefully it will help you or not help you as you see fit. Then the other lesson I had to teach you was a mystery because I forgot what it was.
Okay, well maybe it'll come back up. By the way, this is Metaphysical Matters with Angela Moore. I'm Kim Clark. Looks like we're a little low here.
Yeah, there you go. Honest to goodness, why can I not remember anything anymore?
It'll pop back up. Well, let me ask you this while you're letting things work in the background. What have been, or have you noticed any themes of the week amongst your clients or
Balance.
Balance, okay.
That's what came up.
Okay.
And that's how you learn. You pay attention to whatever is happening around you. And I think that's how the universe sends its messages. I don't think the universe tries to make this hard. I don't think you have to go to the mystic on the mountain. I think you look at whatever is going on in your life right now and see, where that is coming. I wish my dog, I honestly believe the spirit from upstairs is acting up today. They're acting up. They're still banging doors. I'm going, sorry. Tell them something. I'm going to throw some dogs outside, I guess.
Well, one thing I was going to ask Angela, and I'll ask her when she gets back, is what she feels about the upcoming full moon. There's going to be a full moon this Sunday, and it's also a hunter's moon because of the time of the year. And the Native Americans called it a hunter's moon because, it's very low on the horizon and the orange moon, the harvest moon. And they call it the hunter's moon because the hunter could see better to the hunted deer or any other wildlife who might be foraging where the harvest had been. I was just talking about the upcoming full moon and wondered if you had any thoughts on that. Evidently it's supposed to be a very powerful one.
Then it probably will be if it's supposed to be. Okay. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Swami.
Well, everybody document and see, what happens and see.
And also today is 10/10. And, so then the numerology kind of kicks in. And so what I have read, and I'm just going to kind of report this, is that this is a 10/10 portal, just like there'll be a portal on 11/11, 12/12, and so on. And that means the energy on those days can be amplified or enhanced or affected by those numbers.
Okay, that's good to know.
Okay.
So this would be a good time to write down things that you might be needing to have happen in your world. Take advantage of this energy and ask for guidance, and maybe make a note, a physical note in this world, that basically you're sending a message to the spiritual realm as to what maybe you need to have come into your life.
Okay. And also, I was just going to report, I checked on the Schumann resonance today, just, in light of all of this kind of stuff that's happening. And we talked about the Schumann resonance a couple episodes ago. And if you go online to a website, and there's many portals where you can kind of keep track of the Schumann resonance. But N5D is a website you can go to, and at the top you can just click on Schumann resonance, and it'll take you right there. And there's this website that has a live, stream all the time. But anyway, the Schumann resonance today, as of this morning when I checked on it, was very active. It wasn't like blown out like it was a few weeks ago when we talked about it, but it was really active. So there is a lot of energetic movement right now. So for whatever that's worth.
That would explain maybe my discombobulation today.
Yeah, and I feel it too. I have to admit, I feel more discombobulated now than I did earlier today. But yeah, I feel it.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
It's because I'm out of Kool-Aid again.
Oh, no, I've been sucked into the vortex here. Now, another email that you sent me, actually just this morning, I think, which was really wild. Hawksbill, which you guys live around here, you know where Hawksbill is. It's one of those formations that looks over the Linville Gorge. But your email said Hawksbill is a center that connects all planets to the universe.
That's what my client actually told me, which was interesting because I had actually been reading about a Tibetan, a place in Tibet.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I get words today? And that was considered to be one of those special places that connects things. And I was reading that, and I believe it actually mentioned Charlotte or somewhere. It did resonate with me a little bit. Enough to where I actually paused talking to him to send you that message, because I felt like, no, I think that is a special place. I've told you, and we've talked about before, how amazingly powerful these mountains are. And especially, see, I didn't know where Hawksbill was. I didn't know it was overlooking the gorge. But now that I know that, it's like, yeah, I'm going to double down on that.
Well, you may remember, this has been many years ago, that I told you I had a dream. It's one of those dreams that seems to be more than a dream. I'm still thinking about it. So the dream was that Angela and I we were humans, but very powerful humans with wings. And we were landing on the top of Table Rock, which is just beside Hawksbill. And there were other winged beings coming from all directions. There was a meeting taking place there, and we were all landing there. And I told your cousin about that dream not too terribly long ago, and she has had a similar dream. And that's right there in the same area as Hawksbill.
Okay, well, I had that vision too. I shared that with you years ago. And I had it during the regression with my cousin, actually. I forgot about that. I sure did. Okay, I have no more comment about that, except that that's an ancient energy. The whole earth is ancient, I guess, according to our terms. But that is a portal, portal's the only word I can actually think of right now that makes sense to me.
Did you know that, Jules Verne, the science fiction author?
Wait a minute. If anybody's out there, please let us know, because
we've got 17 people watching.
I know, but nobody said hey, and that's discombobulating me.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Jules Verne, the science fiction writer who wrote Journey to the Center of the Earth and so many. He wrote a book called Master of the Universe, and it takes place in Morganton. And he was French, but he had read about, Table Rock and all this stuff here. And anyway, it takes place in Morganton, and Table Rock is called the Great Eyrie in his book, and it's the center of all this supernatural activity. Now, in his book, they find out that it's not supernatural, that it's some mad scientist kind of thing going on. But it rumbles and smokes and scares everybody in the town below, which is Morganton. Yeah, I just thought that was very interesting that he set one of his books in Morganton.
Well, there was, a reason for it. That area was resonating with him, and he just drew on that energy to create a piece of fiction.
Yeah. Anyway, that's I've got that book. It's not his best book, but I found it, like you, very interesting. That somebody of that stature chose to write about something here. And this was in the late 1800s, when a lot of people in France didn't know anything about, Morganton, Table Rock. Now, is this the article that you're talking
I
about?
believe it is.
Okay. I just want to share this. UFO seekers are flocking to a huge Buddha statue in Thailand, saying it is home to a wormhole that aliens use to travel to different dimensions. And just to summarize, a group of Buddhist worshippers on a remote hilltop in Thailand believe that aliens communicate with people in the area. The site is located just 3 hours north of Bangkok and has become a hotspot for UFO tourists. I didn't know there was such a thing, but I guess there is. Believers say the hill where this statue is hides a secret wormhole that allows and elsewhere to travel between dimensions. Now, what I found really interesting about this, you're like, okay, aliens from Pluto, yeah, whatever. We've never found life on Pluto or seen any signs of it. But the people who say they have made contact, they go into meditation, and the aliens that they see are described as slender, little, silvery humanoids. And they say the aliens are made of energy, which I find very interesting, and that these aliens have expressed concern about devastation on Earth. But to
Maybe
think
because we're the aliens
Yeah.
to this planet.
well, and people always say, well, there's no life on other planets because we haven't seen it, but we're always looking for life that's the same density as we are. And this is an incredibly dense reality that we're in. And these beings are made of energy, so we don't see them. Anyway, I just thought that was really, really, really interesting.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. And I'd have to say, if I think there are portals anywhere, I would pick the Middle East. Because honestly, I think that's one reason that we stay over there and fight so much.
Well, Billy Graham said that's where life began and that's where it will end. And I agree with that.
Yeah. But I think if you read any of the stuff about the Anunnaki, the ancient aliens, the stories are from in the Sumerian tablets are that there were space portals there. And I can't help but believe that that's one reason that we're there so much militarily. Oil, that's a nice, add-on, I guess. Okay. Anything to add to that? Okay. All right. Something else you sent me. A video shows smoke pouring from a possessed ghost hunter after a holy water cleansing session.
I thought that just was so strange.
Yeah, it took place in Kansas. These UFOs, I got UFOs on the brains. Ghost hunters were in this house that was reported to be haunted, and they whipped out a Ouija board and used a technique called the Gansfield experiment, which is also some way to contact beings from the other side. And one of the guys in this crew started acting. He was convulsing and acting really weird, and kind of went into a trance. So they pulled him out, and they had holy water. I guess it's part of their toolkit, and they poured holy water on him, and he started to smoke. That's pretty wild.
Wasn't there a case? This is off anything I sent you, but there was a case of somebody being taken into surgery, and when they tried to do the emergency surgery, see what was going on, everybody in the emergency room or whatever operating room passed out. Did you know about? Yeah, that happened.
No.
And yeah, it happened. Google it. It's on there somewhere. And I don't know if they knew what caused it or not. As a matter of fact, I think it happened more than once. So anyway, for some reason, it's putting me in mind of that. So I don't know what to say, except I do think that the human body is designed to and have a spirit inhabit yours, your spirit, your human spirit. It vibrates properly, but sometimes I think we get a bad download, you might say, and our spirit doesn't fit quite right in our body. Maybe that would speak to why sometimes we have mental illness, because it's a bad download, or maybe even autism, maybe in some cases, or something like that, where it's just not quite fit. But also there are spirits out there who would love to have a body, and if they can take yours over, they will. And you have to give them permission to do that, but sometimes we open doors for that to happen. And we allow these things to take place at some level. And I think your body then may be capable of doing all grades of stuff, like we talked about last week with the growing and the shrinking that we were doing, for example. Mm-hmm. So I think it's very possible that there are things going on and if the spirit does get too close to you too, and you're in a good healthy space, to try to get in there, you're going to feel angry or fear. Your body's going to panic, or it's going to do what it does because it's a warning. This isn't right, this isn't good. But the smoke and stuff like that could be speaking to the people's fears, like we're going to smoke because that makes people afraid, or it could just simply be this body was burning up. But I have no doubt that that there's all kinds of scratches that appear on people, just all kinds of stuff that can happen. You've heard before about people with schizophrenia, that they have diabetes in their one personality, and they have healthy in another, blue eyes with one, brown eyes with another, etc. So I think there's just all levels of what can happen, especially when you start mixing in things of a paranormal nature.
It kind of reminded me, do you remember the field trip you and I took a long time ago to Clinton, South Carolina?
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah, there was a family down there, and the daughter, who at that time I'd say she was in her 20s, 30s, something like that. Anyway, she seemed to be possessed by the spirit of a very young child. And Angela went down to try to help them, because I think Josh Warren, if I remember right, had referred you, because Joshua P. Warren, if you guys don't know, is an investigator of the supernatural. And so he'd gone down with all of his equipment and his gauges and all this kind of stuff and his meters, and evidently recorded some really wild activity in that house. I think he said things were flying off the shelves and all that kind of stuff. Now, when we went, we didn't have any of that, but what do you remember about that?
Well, I don't know if I could really say too much without invading her privacy, but I will say in general, let me put it this way. I have seen people that you look in their eyes and man, they're not alone in there. And I mean, I could tell you privately of a person right now who's definitely inhabited, there's more than one person in there. And those people usually don't live that long because, again, your body just can't take that kind of energy. And they can take advantage of people who have maybe mental illness too. But you look in their eyes and you see, and that's actually what I was thinking about earlier this week, about looking in the eyes and seeing, there's company, it's the eyes. And I can't explain it. I just know it when I see it. And I'll tell you, I see it. I don't necessarily tell you either, because sometimes it's better if they don't know that you know.
Oh, that's interesting.
So anyway,
what I remember about this, and like you said, you don't want to betray any, the woman did begin to speak in the voice of a young child. It was really wild.
I don't even remember that, Kim.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that at all. And that's bothers me that I don't remember, but it must have been that I was pretty much in the zone.
You were, and I was the observer. And I just remember, I think the lights flickered or something. It was like something you'd see in a movie. And I couldn't believe that it was actually happening. And I was there.
That doesn't even bother me, evidently, because I have no memory of it. But the eyes, that bothered me.
Wow.
I wonder why nobody's saying hey today. I hope we're actually on.
We are. We've got people watching. I think I see, there goes.
Thank you, somebody, for letting us know you're there.
I've seen the video keeps freezing up. So we either got some interference of a spiritual nature.
It's probably me. My energy is still in the room right now. I mean, I'm aggravating to myself at this point.
I feel discombobulated.
Yeah, that's exactly the right word.
Yeah. So that's probably interfering too.
It's because I had an Aquarius client, an Aquarius friend, and Aquarius husband. I blame the Aquarians.
We think the house is going to tip over with all that Aquarian energy.
They often are very different kind of people from the rest of us, and that's not bad. That's actually why I guess I hang around with Aquarians. But they do tend to stir things up in a way that is not usual. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
Well, talking about technical difficulties of a suspicious nature, I think I don't think I've told you this yet. Yesterday morning, I was on my laptop. I keep it in the kitchen so I can check the news and stuff, when I'm first getting going in the day. And my laptop made the most god-awful screeching sound I've ever heard. And I was like, what the heck is this? And so I went over there and I tried. It was like all frozen up, but I was able to hit the button to mute it.
Mhm.
That did nothing. It continued to screech.
Mhm.
I had to shut it down. And then I restarted, it wasn't screeching anymore. Then about, I'm going to say 20 minutes later, my phone rang and I picked up the phone, screeching on the phone.
No, that's weird.
So what's that about?
I don't know. That's weird to me. I mean, I've had a computer make that kind of sound before, and I just figured it's the inner workings of it getting ready to go. And maybe I don't think I've ever had a phone do that, but I've had some. So I think that maybe something was trying to come through, maybe come through electronic means, because I think that's easy for some entities to do that. And maybe that was just overwhelming those electronic devices as it tried to come through.
Well, and let me throw this in the hopper too. About an hour after that, a bird flew in the house. May or may not be related, but it definitely got my attention. And what was so funny is that it did the weird. It's covered with vinyl records, and it went to the top of the counter where the cabinet where the vinyl records are, and went down behind it. And I thought, holy crap, how am I ever going to get this bird out of here? But I finally did get it out from behind there, but it was so weird.
That is weird. I don't know. I would say that there was something energetically going on in the house that was thwarting the magnetic function of the world, of the earth underneath where you are. That's what I want to say.
Huh.
I don't know why, but I want to say that, and I want to stick with it.
Well, another weird thing that we had happen this week, it happened to you and me both. Earlier in the week, I was at Walmart, and because you have no choice, if you want to buy certain things, you got to go to Walmart. And everywhere I looked, as soon as I got out of the car, there were people that were having trouble walking, for different reasons. I mean,
Yeah.
it really painful,
Mhm.
painfully trying to walk. And everywhere I went, there they were. And it just got my attention so much, I thought, this is something that's interesting. Okay. Then when I got home, Ellen had called me, and I had missed the call. And when I called her, as soon as she picked up the phone, she ran over a bunch of bolts in the road and got a flat, like just a blowout flat. I emailed Angela and told her about this. And while she was reading the email at Walmart,
I had to go to Walmart.
yeah,
it
her
came
car
through.
wouldn't start.
Yeah, well, actually, the first thing I thought was, I can't walk either. I was leaning on my buggy like a crutch. It's like my hips were just like giving me fits. And it's like, I'm having trouble walking. It's hurt. And then you said that. And as soon as I saw the part where you said that truck had run with it, it's like I got a bolt of electricity. I thought, I don't want to see this. I don't want to know this. I knew something was going to happen. I went out, my car wouldn't start, and it was a dead battery. And some guy that works there got a thing and fixed it for me, and it's been fine since. I think I sat there and tried to start it one time too many or something, because I was letting the air, and I didn't want to run the air, and then, but anyway, it's been fine since. But it's like I knew that bolt of energy, when I read that, it's going to get my car, and it did. But again, it's been fine since.
When you say that bolt of energy,
yeah, I don't know. It's like a bolt of energy just come through the phone when I read that email when I was walking around, or text, wherever it was, that I knew it was going to affect me too. So I think there was a lot of energy that was misplaced, or an abundance of it in one place that was affecting people, maybe from all over the area. But I think when I read your thing, it kind of directed it at me.
Maybe you ground out the whole thing for everybody else.
I don't know. Maybe it would be nice if it did, but whatever was going on was affecting mobility, and that involves not only our feet, our walking, but our vehicles. So our mobility affected. Maybe the universe is saying, stop it, be still for a minute. Maybe there's some adjustments that have to be made. This just in. That's what I'm supposed to say about that.
Wow.
I swear I smell. You smell something coming through here right now?
Mm-mm.
Well,
what's it smell like?
Pot. I swear I smell pot right now.
Certainly not me.
And James is asleep. I don't know that.
Where are the chihuahuas?
Yeah, where are they at too? Maybe that's what they're barking at. But sometimes when you get a smell,
have a drive-by pot smoker.
Well, when you get a smell, and it's nothing there to explain it, and of course I don't know what the neighbors are up to, but it's a spirit, and they use a smell that maybe makes you think of them, that resonates. So I don't know who it is. I don't think anybody belongs to me, but I think there's somebody here that's passing through that's giving me that sense. So whoever has a pot smoking spirit, they say, hey. But there's one here, I swear it's the man in the basement. The spirit that's in the basement. I don't like to talk about him much, but he comes up every now and then and he smells like body odor. Oh my God. But he's gone now. He's still, he stays in the basement.
But he belongs here.
Yeah, he ain't mine. He ain't mine. He ain't yours either. He belongs to the basement.
So, but when you leave, he doesn't go.
No, which I won't be leaving.
But I mean,
no place to go.
I mean, when you like just go shopping or something.
No, he stays here. He can go. I don't think he's trapped. I think he just stays here.
Okay.
He lives in the basement. He bothers James. You know, he told James heard him say out loud to somebody, "Yeah, that's Lloyd's son." And James' dad is named Lloyd, and he heard that like I'm talking to you.
Wow.
But I don't go. Jamie don't go to the basement. I don't go to the basement unless every now and then I make maybe a foray down in there just to let everybody know this is my house. I'm still here. But that's James's man cave for the most part. But yeah, I got the man in the basement and he does that. Sometimes I'm cooking, he comes up and he hangs around behind me. But anyway, then there's the lady. She's been coming downstairs some. She was giggling at James the other night. I can't believe I'm just sitting here talking to you. I think there's something wrong with my brain. I think I burned my brain out with that last person. I'm broken now.
I actually told Angela, I'm like, if you're not up for doing a, metaphysical matters.
I am. I'm absolutely am.
Because I knew that.
But I
what
can't understand
doing.
why we're not getting one comment, which is not, but that's bizarre. I mean,
I think we've got the veil of thwart going on, the electronic veil of thwart.
Well,
listen, something came up in my mind today, actually, while I was driving over here, that I've been meaning to ask you about. You used to, I don't know if it was part of your technique for manifesting or something, you used to do a lot of twirling.
Yeah, I did.
What was that about? What does that do?
It gathers energy, and it's just something that I did for myself because it made sense to me. Thank you, whoever said that. Like, I know that. Thank you. I appreciate those likes and happy faces because I don't think there's anybody there.
We just can't see any comments.
Yeah, it happens. But anyway, I would take advantage of that twirling energy and run in place, twirl, run in place, and what?
I remember this now. The first time I saw this performance, I thought it was some kind of crazy stuff.
It could have been, who knows? But I don't know. It's what I do. Run in place, twirl around, and wah. Because I feel like I was pulling in energy. And I especially want to do it if I was broke, didn't know where my groceries coming from this week, So
you think about what it is that you need to manifest.
I just think of pure energy. But yeah, you can think of what you want to manifest. And you should make up your own because where power is in this kind of ritualistic things, it's in your belief system. And if you are actually putting your energy into whatever it is you're doing, you're actually very liable to, in fact, manifest something. Something special. But yeah, I would do that. And I also, to be honest, one of the main reasons I did too is because it actually amused me. I like to do things that amuses me. Okay, if it tickles me, there's power in that for me. There's in humor.
Yeah. So, well, how many times have you read stuff that says if you want to disarm something that maybe is not in your best interest, be it supernatural or natural,
make it small.
Laugh at it.
Make it small. You derision. That's an evil thing to do to somebody. But to laugh at somebody, you don't want to do that. But why? Because it's very hurtful, extremely hurtful. But if you got a situation, for example, I used to be terribly afraid that I was going to end up living under a bridge with a cardboard box. I was pretty sure. And I had to make fun of that because if I didn't make fun of it, I think it could have happened. And so, I'd make up a story. One day I saw this going along and I'm thinking, I'm going to end up living under a bridge. That's what's going to happen. And what am I going to do? And then one day I saw this refrigerator box inside the road from a furniture store. And I thought, well, there's me a box. I can live in that. And I got to thinking, well, it's a pretty good box, probably be pretty weatherproof. And then I started thinking, I would never have to worry about a bill. And then I got to thinking, under a bridge would be in the river is nice. And I thought I'd be under there, probably get me a stray dog to live with. And start thinking I'd haul up to the top of the road, maybe do a little fortune telling or something just to get me some food money. And the time I got done with it, it was pretty much a dream, idealistic experience. So, but by kind of making fun of that fear, I don't have that fear anymore. Or if I do, it's rare. It's actually a common fear with women, by the way, to fear that they're going to have something like that happen to them, just in case you're wondering. As a matter of fact, I read like Loretta Lynn, who is, obviously not in need of anything as far as monetary means, has that fear. So, I mean, it's...
I've never thought about living in a cardboard box, but I have that basic
security.
fear. Yeah.
It's a big deal. But anyway, it doesn't hurt sometimes to just... and it helps to take this fear out and just kind of air it out and look at it for what it is, and that is a fear. It is not your reality, at least not yet. And that's another thing. I guess I'm going along with this teaching thing I'm doing today, and that is worry tomorrow. Tomorrow, you are allowed to worry, but not today. Tomorrow, you are allowed to just, freak out, but not yet. Wait till tomorrow. And I used to, honestly, if you could give awards for worrying, oh my God, I'd have nothing but trophies, like wall to wall. But I learned if I just do it tomorrow comes. Usually there's nothing left to worry about. And if there is, I just put it off again. Tomorrow, I'm going to worry. It's going to be terrible, but not today. Don't destroy today over what might happen tomorrow, because it's not a true thing. It's usually not a true thing. And worry doesn't solve a thing. It doesn't solve a thing. So if you have a religious belief, you can put this, here, Lord, here's your problem today. You deal with it. I don't know what's going to happen with my child. I don't know what's going to happen with these things. So you deal with it, and I'll help you by worrying tomorrow. And a lot of times this can help you to put the energy out there to do what you can do. You do what you can do. If you got to worry, you got to do what you can do. You need to pay a bill, get a job, whatever you got to do. But you can't have this unnecessary stuff in your head that takes away your joy of living.
You told me once kind of a variation on that. If there's something that you're worrying about, just say, okay, I'm going to worry about it for 15 minutes. This 15 minutes right now, I'm going to worry about it. And then I'm going to be done.
Yep, there you go. You can make a list too, and then put your list in a worry pot and let it simmer over there. Time it gets done, it'll be gone. But you can create. This is being a terrible connection. I saw it do that freezing thing again. It's very... do what you can do, to like release whatever it is going on in your life to your higher power. Life's too short to hang on to stuff, Kim. It's too short.
My mother was a worrier. Mm-hmm. She was probably, I think she might have even, if you all had made it to the finals of the World Championship of Worrying, I believe she could have given you a run for your money. But we actually talked about this when she was at hospice. I said, Mama, think of all the things you worried about that never happened.
And, I think sometimes that's a bad thing, though. It's like people worry about stuff because, they think that this bad thing could happen, right? Well, then the bad thing didn't happen. Maybe in a way that's reinforcing. It's like, my worry fixed it, and when actually it does nothing but make your life miserable. But I think sometimes inadvertently we're training ourselves